Yes, good morning. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. I'm seeing Bashir Sani in the room. Who else is here with us?
Mauricio Adibite is here.
Okay, you are welcome. I think the room is building up. We are three. I've seen Mauricio Adigbite. Well, let's get more people to join up and we can start the conversation. I know for those of us in Lagos, it's not funny navigating from one or driving from one part of Lagos to another, except you are joining this meeting from your home. So I want to welcome everybody.
Hello, good morning. No, I joined 10 a.m.
Oh, welcome. Is that Madam Violet Williams?
Yes, so.
Oh, you are punctual as usual. Very punctual. Welcome. Thank you for your punctuality. We appreciate it and we are taking a cue from that. And we will never take your early bird posture to meetings for granted. So we are expecting more people to join up. Yes. Yeah, so this month's edition of the Code Blue is looking at our ocean, our future. I hope I'm audible. If you can hear me, say hi.
Hi.
Okay, I think I got 4 highs. I got one from myself. I heard Murisik Homes. I heard Sani's own and Bashir's own. Okay. That means we are just 4 in the room. Maybe we need to give time for more persons to come in while we slowly kickstart this discourse. Except for those outside of Lagos, I know it's not funny traveling within Lagos today. It's not at all. So if I see anybody in the meeting, I should be able to understand what they must have gone through. Every part of Lagos is like the ocean we are talking about is creeping into Lagos due to flooding. This morning we'll be looking at our ocean, our future, which is a global issue, and Nigeria cannot isolate itself from this very important and critical area of our maritime life. This slogan echoes from the 2025 UN Ocean Conference Declaration, which perfectly synchronizes with our Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy 10-year national policy. So we want to share ideas on the ocean, its impact on our future as a people, and we cannot discuss the future in isolation. We cannot discuss the future in isolation of our national economy. So these are the things we'll be looking at this morning. Very good. We have experience and versatile person in the room. I've seen Madam Violet, and we'll be expecting her to make great contributions in this direction. The ocean plays a very critical role in our survival as a country. Our import, export, entire maritime ecosystem, which is like the fulcrum on which the Nigerian economy sits, depends very much on the ocean. We've taken time to also educate people that the very prominent oil and gas that the country prides itself as is a main source of economic survival, also depends on shipping, on maritime, on the ocean for movement. So talking about the ocean as a front burner topic for us to discuss this morning is not overemphasizing a very important aspect of our national life. And like I said earlier, this is one, I wouldn't say the most important, but very important aspect of our national life. Because if you divorce Nigeria from the ocean, it ceases to become a maritime country. And the very burgeoning blue economy that we pride ourselves in as a country with a brighter socio-economic future will be lost. So ocean sustainability, ocean management, and how it relates to our day-to-day lives is what we'll be looking at this morning. And we'll be expecting our participants to contribute to this discourse. We can look at it from the environmental angle, marine pollution. We can look at it from the tourism angle. We can look at it from the trade, the economy, which is shipping itself. We can also look at it from food production, which is not different from the economic aspect I just talked about. So the ocean itself is a world of opportunities, and that is where makes Nigeria the pride we see as a maritime nation, with legacy ports, new ports, and emerging ports coming. It's because of our proximity, our access to the ocean. If we don't have this access, these opportunities will not approach us at all. There are opportunities we as a country benefit from that are not open to landlocked countries like Chad, like Niger, no matter how ingenious they become in leadership. The opportunities inherent in having the ocean accessible to your country is not open to such countries that are landlocked. So I consider Nigeria a very lucky country. In fact, sometimes we do say that a maritime country should have no business with poverty. So the ocean, like I said earlier, is a blank check. It's a blank check. It's for us to sign up and cash it out. Is it from fishing? Is it from the tourist aspect? Is it from marine biology? So we have chains and chains of opportunities that seems to me very endless. As a country, we even have a dedicated ministry for the implementation of marine and blue economy policy. That also further emphasizes our the critical nature of the ocean to our economic sustainability. And I look forward to sharing ideas with our people. So let's, even if it's our experience with the ocean from our little corners, let's share as part of this discourse, because that is what will help us expand the scope of knowledge needed to maximize the benefit inherent in our blue economy. So the floor is open. Let's contribute, please. If you heard my voice in the last 1 minute, say hi.
Hi. Thank you very much, Mr. Isma'il. Thank you very
Oh,
much for.
you are there.
Well, I'm hanging on. I'm following. I'm
My
following
system is not
proceedings.
showing that you are in this room.
I'm following proceedings. I'm somewhere
Incognito.
around, yes, close by, and just at least following this very important, very useful conversation. And I hope that today's edition allows members of this forum to weigh in, especially the month of June being World Ocean Month, as well as the month where we marked the Day of the Seafarer. And these two elements, as far as the blue economy is concerned, as far as the oceans are concerned, are very critical. They are very crucial. Ocean literacy, awareness of the environment, the main environment itself that determines and guarantees the existence of the blue economy, is such a critical factor if we are to make the most of our waters. And I hope, if time permits and if there's not too much pressure, I might be able to go through some of my presentation at the NIOMA, that's the Nigerian Institute for Marine and Oceanography Research, where I was the keynote speaker for the World Oceans Day in collaboration with the International Ocean Institute, the IOI here in Nigeria. And it is at the very heart of whatever it is that we plan to do, whatever economic gains we seek to, I would say, leverage, because I don't want to use the word extract. The word extract should not be part or should not form part of our conversation in the blue economy or within the context of the ocean, because it's the extractive mentality that has kept us where we are with reference to our oil and gas sector. The mentality has been too extractive, and so all demands and all metrics of sustainability have been totally jettisoned, and we are facing the consequences. We are dealing with the consequences, and I can tell you they are far more costly than were we to have been much more sustainable in our approach. So I think that the blue economy gives Nigeria an opportunity to finally prove to the world that it can sit at the table whenever sustainability in terms of modus operandi is discussed or is concerned. I think that's what the blue economy gives to us, given that it is still very, very virgin. Let's put it that way, with the exception of maritime. So we have to talk about the ocean. We have to understand it. And I hope a few of the slides on that presentation, I'll be able to share that with this group to further enhance the conversation. Then the other point is the celebration of the seafarers, the men and women who ensure that we can appreciate the last mile of ocean economics, who ensure that we get all of the things that we need for our sustenance, all of the supplies, all that we need commercially, economically, on our tables, in our wardrobes, you just name it. And so dedicating a day to celebrate them, dedicating a day to honor their contributions, to honor their efforts, most of whom we will never know because they don't wear a cape, and because in that sector, in that space, you don't really get to have ranks where you are decorated and then announced. Most of them are usually inside the bowels of these massive vessels, ensuring that there's smooth sailing and everything moves successfully and seamlessly from point A to point B, in order for us to enjoy the kind of life that we live. I'm sure my friend Isma'il will tell you that the lovely looking jacket he's wearing was not made in Nigeria. It must have come by sea. And the glasses he's putting on, the frame and everything about it was not produced or sourced there locally. So he has seafarers to be thankful to, and it must be a very interested party in honoring them as we mark the Day of the Seafarers. I didn't really feel the buzz, the excitement in the media. Maybe Ismail will tell us why the energy was not that high. I think I even missed it myself which shouldn't be the case. I know the team here at the Blue Economy Academy put out some posts to commemorate that. I think we can also, let's talk about them and the possible challenges that they face, especially with the Strait of Hormuz. And then, of course, I think, Isma'il, you'll be presenting the Blue Economy tidbits, what has happened in the last 30 days. It would be nice to hear some of those things as well. So please, everyone, let us all get involved and let us all participate, because the sea, the ocean affects us all in one way or another. It affects us all. So that is I would say, my 2 cents for this moment. And I would yield the floor back to you, Mr. Isma'il.
Yes. It was nice to hear that you are here. I never counted you amongst those in the room. I thought you were far away. The month of June has been very engaging, and it speaks to very important areas of our ocean economy. Let me use that. We celebrated the Day of the Seafarer, and as we speak, Nigeria is also playing host to over 20 countries under the aegis of the Memorandum of Understanding of Port State Control, otherwise called Abuja MOU. That event is ongoing. It talks about vessel inspection. We must not forget, like the founder of the Blue Economy Academy said, that seafarers are the people that make the world go round. They make us actually enjoy a lot of things that we could not have seen on the shelves in the various shops we go into. Celebrating them, no matter how much we do it, it can't be too much. Just like Mr. Essien said, some of us missed it because we had equally important engagement in town. But it was in the media, it was celebrated. People's views about expanding the scope of Nigeria in terms of human capital development, replacing our aging seafarers that are already exiting the scene gradually due to age and other circumstances, ensuring that we don't just train seafarers for the training sake, we train them for international recognition and global acceptability. I think Nigeria is bringing these issues to the fore, and it's not out of place to celebrate the men and women who spend a greater part of their lives, their adult lives, on board ships, moving from country to country, away from their immediate families, just to ensure that we enjoy the very many things we buy from the shops, from the shelves. I have taken time to explain to people most times that if you enter any room in Nigeria, there is a presence of China or any other country. But I use China as the easiest reference because every room you go into in Nigeria, there is a mobile phone. And from my survey, of every 10 mobile phones in the hands of Nigerians, 7 are Chinese made. So if you enter every room in Nigeria, people who never thought or may never visit China in their whole life have a touch of product from China. And this is made possible by the maritime world, people who work on board vessels, people who make trade go round. Today is the last day in the month of June, and it's also good we use this last day to further reemphasize that seafarers deserve a place of pride in our national life, and give them their flowers when the need arises. I truly join in celebrating them because they deserve it. As we speak, Nigeria is playing host to over 22 countries under the aegis of Abuja MOU, and they are talking about the future too. It's about vessel inspection, ensuring that ships that call at various ports in the world are seaworthy. Because if you allow non-seaworthy vessels to call at your port, it not only endangers the port, it also endangers the country, because a rusty bucket that is being used as a tanker vessel could explode at birth. And if it explodes at birth, there are instances, cases in Lebanon where such incidents happen, and the impact could only be imagined. So, vessel inspection, ensuring that vessels are seaworthy, and that those who do inspection of vessels are on one page. So, if a non-seaworthy vessel comes to Ghana, and in its itinerary, it plans coming to Nigeria, it behoves on the Ghanaian authority, the inspectors, to alert Nigeria that this non-seaworthy vessel is leaving our port to your port. Then they're also emphasizing on the powers of arrest and detention. That is where MARAD, the Maritime Administration, comes in too. So I want to believe that by the end of tomorrow, when they'll be rounding off with that conference, which also emphasizes on a 5-year strategic training plan for approximately 200 inspectors, ship inspectors. I want to believe there will be well-detailed communique that will guide and put everybody within the Abuja MOU confine on one page to ensure that only seaworthy vessels, because the Abuja MOU or the vessel inspectors are the VIOs we have on water, just as you have VIO for ships, for vehicles, checking your vehicle, checking your fire extinguisher, your sea caution, your tires, to be sure that you are fully equipped for safety in case of the unexpected. That is how we have same for ships. And Nigeria is playing host to countries as we speak, looking at this very important area of our maritime sector. The month of June was loaded because we are about exiting it in the next, say, 13 hours. We'll be out of June. We'll be in July. But these issues are issues that we must always bring to the fore, discuss them, and provide solution. What we've always done on Code Blue is not just to x-ray the issues, to discuss them. It's also to provide advisory to government on best way to resolve knotty issues, and untie the knots and ensure that we have a better improved maritime ecosystem. Within the Nigeria's national policy on marine and blue economy, the country has drawn an ambitious and structured effort to turn its vast marine resources into engines of sustainable prosperity. And these documents cannot just work themselves into fruition. They cannot just work themselves into reality. We need people to digest them, to believe in them, and to walk the talk by ensuring that the best is made out of our 853-kilometer coastline, with very vast exclusive economic zone, inland waterways. We are a maritime country that must maximize the best of its potentials if we must allow or pursue the good benefit of all our citizens as a country. So let's keep the ball rolling. How many of us are in the room? I am seeing Ubong Essien. Who else is in the room? We want contributions to these discussions, please.
All right,
So
maybe I can quickly.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe I can quickly run through my slides before I get caught up in the other events. I can just make a few remarks based on my keynote address at to mark World Oceans Day at Neoma. So maybe we can just do that quickly. I don't know if my slides are visible.
Let me see.
Please confirm, can you see my slides?
I have not seen.
Let me.
Okay, I think it's loading.
Okay.
Okay, it's there now.
Still loading. Okay. So as you know, this event, I think held on the 9th of June, traditionally is 8th of June, World Oceans Day. And for those of us who did some geography or even in social studies, you know about the 5 major oceans that we have and that the world really that we live in, this earth, not even the world, because the world is the system, the entire earth is 70% water, 70% oceanic, covered by water. Meaning that for those of us, the rest of us on land, we are actually strangers, we are tenants. The real landlord of this earth are the oceans, those 5 oceans. And if we were to come at this conversation from that standpoint, I think we will realize that we have done more than enough to make the oceans angry and to make the oceans wake up one morning and say, look at these tenants that we just gave small space to squat. 30%, you just gave 30% to squat, and we are 70% owners of this space. It's like a company. Imagine 30% shareholders. People, I mean, a group of people with just 30% of the shares dictating the future of the entire company. And you have another group or maybe an individual that owns 70%, and they are dealing with him anyhow, disregarding his contributions, disregarding his stake. And because he's such a gentleman, he shows up for board meeting, he decides not to flex his muscles, to call for a vote that will allow him or her be dictatorial. Just think of the planets that way. Think of this planet that way. That the land is just 30%. And we have committed so many atrocities against the ocean. That is 70%. So many atrocities.
That's huge.
Yes, that's huge. So I want to commend the International Oceans Institute and of course the UN for this year's theme that let us reimagine our relationship with the ocean. We have been the very, very bad party in this relationship. In fact, if there's any toxicity in this relationship between the land and the ocean, or between us and the ocean, we are the source of the toxicity, and we should be dealt with. Because the ocean has given us so much and continues to give us so much more. And what have we given in return? How have we repaid the gesture? Have we been reciprocal in our approach? No, we haven't. In fact, right now, part of the reasons why I believe a lot of the people who signed up, I was told that about 79% signed up for today's Code Blue. And apparently, people should have had more. They should have used my phone. Usually, I give access to my phone because there are just so many people on my direct contact that should be sent the broadcast. We didn't do that. So I know some people will have my head at the end of the day once they see the alerts out and they were not invited. So I hope the team will take note. The Blue Economy Academy team will take note. So, but the point that I'm making, part of the reasons why we are, for those of us in Lagos, practically being submerged right now is as a result of our poor relationship with the ocean. And we should be very grateful that the ocean has not gotten angry to show us its ferocious side. I am not sure we would like it. So for those of us on the island who are complaining of flooding, in Lekki especially, and all of those places, even on the mainland, you can trace all of these to climatic activities as well as how we have related with the oceans. And that is why ocean literacy is becoming more and more an imperative for us as Nigerians. We must understand, because most Nigerians only see one side of their country, which is the terrestrial side, the land side. So something has to give to help us understand that no, Nigeria has two sides. Our what?
Our sea blindness is huge.
It's very, very huge. And we are suffering the effects, and yet we are failing to trace the problem. I mean, virtually everywhere, everyone that has called me today is in one flood or the other. In fact, one of the reasons why it wasn't likely I would be joining this event is because the event where I was meant to be speaking at the NII, it was scheduled for 11. But I got a notification that they moved it to 12 because of the weather, because of the flooding all across Lagos. So that has brought me 1 hour to enable me to be part of this. So you can imagine this is an A-listers event. Lots of high profiles, well-publicized events taking place at the NIIA, but they've had to move it because all the VIPs are calling from all over town and saying, look, I'm stuck in water. So our relationship with the ocean, we must reimagine it as Lagosians to start with. Then for the entire coastline, Ondo State, Ogun State, Ondo in particular has been suffering a lot of climatic activity leading up to significant, impacts, negative effect of encroachment of the ocean, and then its impact on life. Whereas the blue economy is designed to impact life because it says in its definition, improved livelihoods. It is not the ocean's fault. The ocean is not at fault. It was here before us. It is we who have not been worthy stewards. We have chosen to be more extractive in our relationship. A relationship where only one party keeps getting. They show up as they are leaving, they ask for transportation fare. When they get home, they call you, they say, please send me airtime so I can call you and chat with you. The next morning, please, I'm sending you my account number. Please send me some small 2K, as these young people call it.
Urgent 2K.
Urgent 2K.
Urgent 2K.
3 days later, please, I just wanted to let you know that my mother is in the hospital. Please, can you see what you can do to help? Next week, please, my brother has sent a CV. Please, can I send it to you to help them look for a job? That is how we have been treating the ocean. And we keep telling ourselves that the ocean is vast, the ocean is deep, so we can continue to dump refuse, dump waste into the ocean, because all of the waste on land Even in Agric, we are told the runoffs from all of those leaching activities, especially after applying fertilizers and what have you, all those runoffs end up in our water. Marine litter, plastics, hotels on the island here in Lagos. We need to see what comes out from behind those hotels into the waters. And the same water is where the hotels get the shrimps from that they serve the VIP guests at 50,000 naira per plate. And they're expanding. And the ocean is there, looking at it, asking, what kind of a relationship is this? For how long? Centuries upon centuries. And you will still come, after doing this to me, dumping all your litter in me, you will still bring a boat to transport yourself on top of me. And then next week, you come and vacuum all the fishes inside of me. You are not thinking of how do I replenish myself? What happens to me? You're not thinking of the weather effect, the climate change. So that's why I must commend the theme for this year's World Oceans Day. I think it's very apt. I hope that by next year, this theme should be further expanded, that we must reimagine our relationship with the ocean beyond what we've assumed it is. A new relationship is necessary. A new approach is necessary. And this is how relationships get destroyed, where one party continues blindly to take the other for granted. And I think that this theme also is inviting us to think of the ocean as a critical party that we must engage with, not just some abstract phenomenon out there that generates various elements and various benefits for us. No, we must look at the ocean holistically and therefore change our mentality, change our paradigm into that of a relationship consciously. And I know all of us as human beings, the moment we begin to think consciously in terms of our dealings with others, it shapes our approach. Because all of a sudden we begin to see ourselves in terms of our own obligation. It begins to enable us cut back on our entitlement mentality. You can't keep going to ask. You asked him last week, you asked her last week, and you're going back again for the same thing. And for the past 3 years, it has been you asking, taking, extracting. The ocean is saying, stop using me. I'm not just a tool that you use whenever you need something. I'm not just a place you dump your problems into. And then when you need solutions to feed yourself or to extract minerals, you come, you extract. I am a living, breathing organism. I too have a life. That's what the ocean is telling us. I also, as the ocean, I have a life and I have a right to it. So the approach and the paradigm has got to change. And that's why this theme is commendable. I had also asked the participants to take a look at the map of Nigeria. What do you see? Most times you just see the green side, the traditional design of the map. That's what we see. And it has to change, because what we should be seeing is not just the physical map of Nigeria that we're used to. We have to see beyond it, beneath it. That beyond our 853-kilometer coastlines, one of the largest frontiers available to our nation, it's time to see the whole picture. That is what the Blue Economy Academy is trying to do. And that is what Code Blue is designed for. And in fact, there's a project we are launching very soon. We finished designing it and we've created a few videos. It's called Blue for You. We're taking this Blue for You to university campuses. We're starting with University of Lagos. I think we had the Blue Economy TV team there yesterday to cover one of their events, to create awareness, to help these young people understand, especially Unilag, because Unilag is really just next door neighbor to the Atlantic. From the lagoon to the Atlantic. Do they truly understand the blue dimension, the blue economy implications? So there are things we must do to bring people's awareness, to call people's consciousness to the sea, to the oceans, and to let us understand that this is the actual map of Nigeria, the green side and the adjoining blue side, up to 200 nautical miles, Nigeria's exclusive economic zone. That's part of your country. That's part of our country. That's the map. The true map of Nigeria, economic map of Nigeria, must include these 200 nautical miles of blue. And that's why our conversations become very important. And it's to let us know that millions of livelihoods depend on this blue. And there's trillions in terms of potential earnings from the blue economy. Can you imagine? I was listening to the Train 7 NLNG. I'm told it's about 90% ready. I'm sure some of us might have followed the news. And so far, it is meant, or it is estimated to provide employment for 10,000 Nigerians. So I took, and I think Train 7 has got, is it close to 10 billion naira, if I'm dollars, if I'm correct. So I took that information and I did a deep research to find out from a blue economy perspective, how much employment compared to what Train 7 for NLNG would we be getting from that investment? And you know what? It was 10 times the amount of employment. So multiply 10,000 employment, 10,000 potential employees by 10. Just think about it. So the blue economy itself, 10x's whatever we get or whatever we think we are getting from the oil and gas space. So it's up to us to embrace this and begin to find out what and how we can make the most of the blue space. So let me quickly move on. I will take one or two more slides. And then I shall yield the floor back to Mr. Isma'il, who is our coordinator today, and so that we can have other people be part of these conversations. So I also mentioned that most Nigerians know only half of their country. We know the land, we rarely know the sea. We know the land, but we rarely know the sea. Let's think about it. It is time for us to begin to see Nigeria in its entirety. This is the moment for us as we look for options, as we look for alternatives, as we look for much more sustainable, much more viable alternatives for our economic growth and also for the kind of opportunities that exist for us, as we've seen in the map. The ocean is hiding in plain sight. The ocean is hiding in plain sight. It's there in terms of energy. It's there in terms of trade. It's there in terms of the climate, the impact. The ocean, you're enjoying internet services. It's the ocean that has made it possible and easy for us. It's also there in terms of jobs, tourism, the entire gamut, as far as Nigeria is concerned. So every Nigerian depends on the ocean. It's just that most of us do not. And I was making that illustration to Mr. Ismail's suit and his pair of glasses for him to see the difference and the impact of the ocean. I also talked about the 5 faces of the ocean. Yes, the stakeholders of the seas. We are all stakeholders. And we need to stop seeing only maritime as the foundation for the ocean and the seas. No, maritime is a critical, significant chunk of the blue economy. But there is much more. Maritime is simply the commercial manifestation or the commercial interpretation through transportation and, of course, cargo-related activities of the sea. And that's the industrial leg. Shipping and all that goes along with it. But there's another face to the ocean. Governments, policymakers, regulators, security agencies who create the enabling environment and protect our ocean and resources. They set the direction. They enforce stewardship. It's there. That's another face. Then we also have communities. The communities that live close to the ocean, adjacent to the ocean. If you're on the island, whether you like it or not, you are part of the community. Because you have direct and immediate adjacency. You are a face of the ocean. You are a stakeholder. If you walk on the island, you are a stakeholder of the sea by virtue of being part of the community. Whatever you do on the island and, of course, or in a hotel or along the coast, you are community. Then we have knowledge as one of the faces of ocean. Of course, we are talking about the institutions that harvest information, that gather data, that provide education, our researchers, think tanks such as ours, the Blue Economy Academy, media who generate knowledge. Back then, during my time at NIMASA, we used to have what we call the Maritime Press. I think we used to have about 100 plus or 150 journalists in that pool. I'm sure Mr. Isma'il will probably tell me that that has more than doubled since I left NIMASA in 2023. That means that there is the hunger, there is scarcity of knowledge, there's a desire for people to know more. And so the maritime journalism space continues to expand. More knowledge is required because under knowledge, you have those who create understanding because they must help in curing sea blindness. And then the fifth phase is you and I, the citizens. The citizens, every Nigerian at home and in the diaspora. Yes, because a lot of Nigerians in the diaspora are sending vehicles home. Nigerians in the diaspora are sending containers home. All kinds of things back home. And those at home are receiving them. Yes. All of us whose daily choices and voices and actions shape our ocean and our future. Let me tell you, we have the power to influence what happens today and inherit the consequences tomorrow as far as this relationship is concerned. So I have a lot more to say, and hopefully maybe in our next Code Blue, I would like to exhaust this presentation and share more about it as part of the ultimate quest, which is a massive, full-blown national endeavor towards ocean literacy. I call it an ocean literacy revolution. That's one of the key things that we need in Nigeria. Yes, the government is investing billions in ports, rehabilitation, modernization. That's good. I see a lot of investment in human capital development, agencies of government attending programs, courses, a host of activities going on. I see a lot of players, private companies making investments in equipment, infrastructure, that's fine. But more than anything else, we must set aside the necessary resources, financial resources, human resources, and a host of other kinds of assets towards the all too important goal of ocean literacy. And hopefully, maybe during our code blue for next month, I will delve into ocean literacy to make the point that there is sea blindness at all levels, from the villa down to the least local government. Let me put it that way. There is sea blindness. We are all culpable. There is sea blindness at all levels, including some of those who operate ships. There are elements of sea blindness. Because how do you know sea blindness? By your actions and inactions. You can be sea blind to certain aspects while still functioning in the ocean space, because we don't know it all. None of us knows it all. So that is why our efforts continues to drive us. And that is why we say that at the Blue Economy Academy, we see a Nigeria that prospers by its waters. And that our mission is to eliminate sea blindness and elevate ocean-going activities, opportunities, through the framework of knowledge that people can use, and using the framework of those 10 key inclusion buckets. So we are not a traditional academic research institute. We are an executive space with a collective vision. Most of our programs may be executive in nature, professional in nature, because we are attracting professionals from all fields, but our focus is still very, very universal in terms of ensuring that the common knowledge and appreciation of our seas, of our waters, of our oceans is democratized to Nigerians. So one ocean connects us all. We need to see it, we need to value it, we need to protect it together. From the business executives to the young boy whose school's in Morocco and his school is being threatened by the ocean. All of us, including the mama that sells smoked fish by the beach when we go out there to cool off over the weekend, and the legislator who is a member of the House Committee, Marine and Ocean Resources. All of us must pull together, state actors and non-state actors. So, Mr. Isma'il, this is where I'd like to drop my own anchor for this segment as I hand over the wheels back to you.
Yes, that was very incisive. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, yes, you know, talking about our very parasitic relationship with the ocean. The ocean is very reactive too. You know, at some point, yes. If we are overstretching the patience of the ocean. As we speak, there are communities in Ogun, there are communities in Ondo that are virtually being threatened out of existence. Unfortunately, we have not gotten these people issues put on front burner as one that deserves emergency. There are fishing communities in parts of Ondo State facing the ocean, and their land is being taken. In fact, there are some in Bayelsa. I think government, because if we are talking about the ocean future, government needs to look into these communities for their sustainability. These are fishing communities. They are by default fishers because the ocean, facing the ocean, living by the ocean is their natural habitat. But where their ancestral home is now being swept off, being taken away, what should we do? Should we just fold our hands and watch them go out of existence? And it's not just about their profession now is even their infrastructure, buildings, construction sites, things they've spent heavily on, they've invested on, being swept away by the very waters they are supposed to benefit from, or they benefit from, or they hardly give to. So I think the government of Ondo should, as a matter of state emergency, address communities that are being threatened by ocean surge. What we see in the streets of Lagos today is a child's play compared to what goes on in these communities, because you just wake up and if there is high tide, the waters you were seeing far away few hours ago is already in your room. It's that bad. And if we keep watching, the sustainability aspect of the blue economy may get eroded from our national space for some people, because while we are winning in some parts of the country, it's not out of place to ensure that there is an all-inclusive approach to ensure there are no victims, there are no casualties from our blue economy ecosystem. So I would like that the Blue Economy Academy reaches out to governments of Ondo, Bayelsa, parts of Delta, to see that areas that are being fought by the waters, by the ocean, deserve some government support and possibly government intervention in their fishing business. You talked about Train 7. Train 7 is huge, is gigantic for our economic growth and sustainability. But these people, this is their own micro train. Their micro train must also not be allowed to go away out of existence, where their fishing business will be threatened, because if they have no place to live, no place to lay their head, then they're out of business and they become IDPs, which is not what we pray for them. So there should be an all-inclusive discourse, all-inclusive attention, agenda setting, placing these issues on the front burner of states that are coastal in nature, whose citizens are being threatened by the surge of the ocean. And more so, it becomes more devastating now that the rains are here. So let's see what we can do to ensure that there's a blue map. You know, you talked about having a map of Nigeria, which is green. I think it's not out of place, too, for us to consider conceptualizing a blue map of Nigeria, showing how the ocean touches us, how the blue economy impacts on Nigeria in a graphic form, in a map. Because if you draw a blue map of Nigeria, you'll be surprised that even Katsina is in the blue economy because it has a dry port. Kaduna has a dry port. Kanu has a dry port. They are covered in the blue map. And if we don't draw this blue map, those who run affairs of Nigeria may not quickly know. And if we don't tell them, the fault comes on us. Maybe the academy will have to draw a blue map for...
Yes, let me shock you. Continue, but let me just shock you with these data points. I was trying to get that data during my presentation to be much more accurate about Train 7. Train 7 is estimated currently to provide 16,000 jobs and could peak at 52,000 jobs. With that investment of about $10 billion, that's going to cost $10 billion. Okay, and currently it's been cited at $5 billion, but there is an estimated investment of up to $10 billion. So direct jobs are currently 12 to 16,000 jobs have been created during the construction process. Indirect jobs, estimates suggest an additional 40,000 indirect jobs. So we're talking about a total impact of roughly 52 to 56,000 total jobs to be created at the peak of construction. And what are the nature of these jobs? Largely, construction phase, you agree with me, are going to be largely temporary. Those are those indirect jobs. So at the end of this exercise, 40,000 or more people could be out of jobs. Typical of all capital-intensive oil and gas sector will probably come back down, retained at about 12, maybe 16,000 long term. Now, let's compare that same investment in the blue economy in terms of blue economy employment potential. Job creation targets. If we do a comparison, what we get, from the same profile in terms of ratio analysis is that hypothetically, we could be creating close to 2 million jobs. So my figures were grossly understated. Using job job modeling applications, we're talking about close to 2 million jobs, and these are not temporary jobs, because remember, the sea never sleeps. As we speak to you, as we speak now, vessels are berthing and docking. That is even called maritime. Then you're talking about institutions of education and learning, capacity building. We're talking about what? Fisheries, aquaculture, ecotourism. Those never sleep. We're talking about environmental management and sustainability initiatives. Those never sleep. We're talking about minerals in our waters that can be extracted. Those never sleep. We're talking about water management. For instance, in the Middle East, desalination, it's a critical component of the blue economy. And that's why during the American-Iran war and all of those, there were concerns about hitting desalination plants. So we are sitting on something so humongous, something so massive. And for me, I am determined to be like a John the Baptist, like the voice of one crying in the middle of the Atlantic. I'm not going to be in the wilderness this time around, just trying to get us to wake up, yes, to wake up from this slumber and break out of this sea blindness. And that is why I believe very strongly that we must partner across the board for a massive ocean literacy revolution to bring everybody, bring your tables to the seaside, all of us, so that we are waking to these possibilities. So that means if we just if we took only 10 or 20% of what we have for Train 7, pumped it into the blue economy, we could solve a lot of problems in terms of employment. So I thought to add that data point in. I'll yield the floor back to you, sir.
Yeah, that's very instructive. That information is also very important too. Looking at what Train 7 means to Nigeria and its impact in the NLNG sector, you agree with me that it has always featured as one of the country's low-hanging fruit in terms of revenue. Government share of revenue from NLNG is not something to be waved aside. So expanding to Train 7 further shows that government is not taking that aspect of our national economy lightly. Now, looking at the blue economy, which we have all agreed is broader in nature, it's having almost an infinite bag of opportunities. a bottomless pit of opportunities which we are yet to scratch, or we are still begging ourselves to be aware about or show interest in. I think it's never too much. Whatever we've started doing in terms of raising awareness, drawing attention, building capacity, ensuring that the issues about our blue economy becomes front burner issues, it's never too much. We just have to keep doing them. We have people who run affairs of state from diverse fields of human endeavor. So there is always somebody somewhere who is critical to decision making for national growth, economic development, that needs to learn something about the blue economy. So every time we talk about the blue economy, there is somebody picking something from it. So it's never too much, because this is our national life. Like I was trying to emphasize a few minutes ago, there are those who see or who operate close to the ocean as their natural living habitat. They don't have any other home, and the blue economy seems to be not capturing them enough, because we hardly talk about them. If we sit in hotel rooms, cozy halls to discuss maritime, blue economy, shipping, port development, we hardly talk about those who are being impacted by ocean surge, whose homes are being taken away, or whose sources of livelihood and investment are wiped off by the very ocean that's supposed to be a blessing to them. So the ocean, our future, is one critical aspect of our life, which contributes to rehabilitating, modernizing every aspect of Nigeria's life. Like I was trying to explain, there are states in Nigeria which we see as far from the port. But if you truly want to draw a blue map of Nigeria showing where the blue economy legs is standing well, you will see that even the northern states are part of the blue economy. And multimodal transportation is one advantage that will help us link by road, by rail, by water. Everybody is linked in Nigeria. So once we get our transportation right, we multimodal structure properly fixed, I think the benefits inherent in the blue economy are such that we will keep tapping endlessly. And our fear here is, if we fail to get it right, we are not just only going to pay for that failure now. The reaction we are getting from the ocean that has always been given, our parasitic relationship with the ocean, will also come telling on us. So let's carry the message. Let's carry the message of sustainability. Let's carry the message of fisheries. Let's carry the message of aquaculture, the message of investment in onshore renewable energy, the message of protecting cables that run through our underwater environment. Let's carry the message, because we are all impacted directly, very directly. You know, we used to see it as indirectly, but coming closer, every room in Nigeria, I've said, every room in Nigeria has an impact of the blue economy. Every room in Nigeria has something that is imported. And by the way, if you say you are not importing, every state in Nigeria is exporting. And if you are exporting, you are using the waters, because that is where the largest volume of exports go through. The highest volume of trade is by water. What we transport or ship by air is less than 5% of what the water carries. So global trade is moved by waters. You can imagine what happened when the Strait of Hormuz had this blockade. There was a global standstill. There was a global standoff, and Everybody felt it. That is to tell you that once global supply chain across the maritime ecosystem is impacted, everybody, no matter where you are, pays for it. Everybody suffers for it. Everybody experiences one form of setback or the other, because we had seafarers who were on board vessels that were stuck. We had seafarers who were on board vessels that couldn't go discharge. We had seafarers on board vessels that couldn't return from their places of primary assignment to go trading at other ports of destination. So the maritime industry is one ecosystem moving in different directions, but still together in one melting pot. Let's not forget that. Let's maximize that as best as we can. Our ocean, our future is what we are looking at this morning. I don't know if we still have more guests in the room. Let's get them to contribute to these discussions, please. Who is in the room? On mute, let's hear you. Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. I thought I was the only person here.
No, sir, I've been listening in since I've been listening in.
Okay. Since I didn't hear any voice, and the founder of the Blue Economy Academy is on his way out for another assignment, I needed to be sure I'm not a solo participant here.
At all, sir.
No, you are not.
Okay, that's great.
You are not the only
So I
person.
can see.
No, you're not the only person, sir.
Okay. When I get this feedback, I get encouraged. So the ocean, our future is what we're looking at, its impact on our daily lives, on our national economy, on the entire maritime ecosystem, and how it touches us. We have. I don't know if we've taken time to consider ocean sustainability by proper waste management. It's another aspect of our national life we need to give proper attention. People just dump waste into waters, waste unregulated, or they beat the regulators to do it. And I saw a video yesterday where some persons in Lekki had waters flowing into their living rooms. And alas, the water came in with waste that were improperly dumped. Waste. That speaks to us directly. When you throw your plastic into the water, you just throw them there. At some point, if the ocean has a way of reacting, it will just bring those things back to you. I saw that yesterday in one video on social media, where in somebody's living room was floating water almost up to their lap area, and waste from God knows where floating in somebody's living room. The ocean, we need to mind the way we dispose or manage our waste. So without attempting to dominate this, let's have other contributions, please. Bashir Sani, are you audible? Yeah, I'm struggling to hear you. Bashir, are you? I'm struggling to hear you. My system indicates you are speaking, but I can't hear you. Hello? So if
Hello, maybe the person
am I
is
the only
down.
one not hearing Bashir?
Hello, maybe the person is not aware he's on.
Oh,
I
he
can't
is not
hear him
aware he's
either.
on.
I mean, that should be the case.
Are you showing me? How many KBs? He said it's 3. No, maybe you
The
did it
person is
3
not
before.
aware he's on.
Okay. He's not
Huh?
aware he's on. Yeah. I can see that because the background voice I hear is not related to what we are discussing here. Yeah, let's look at our national blue economy. We target an average of 3 million jobs, at least 5 fish processing plants to be facilitated soon, $2 billion investment to be attracted for offshore renewable energy by 2025. All these figures looks good and very ambitious, hoping that our blue economy will thrive to bring these dreams to reality. They are lofty dreams, and we really hope to see them work as fast as they could be implemented. You know, it's one thing to have beautiful ideas on paper. It's another thing for there to be the political will to get them implemented and make them work for the good of the country as anticipated. It's been a two-way thing for the economy and myself. Let's find out other participants who are in the room. I'm seeing some other participants. Let's get to hear your contribution on this issue. We are almost getting to the end of the meeting. Okay, in absence of none, I think we have to do a bit of a recap of what we discussed today. We've looked at the theme, our ocean, our future, how it relates to our country, and how our country cannot be excluded from the global maritime ecosystem, and why we must not limit our concept of blue economy to the maritime industry alone. It's wider than shipping and maritime. It touches on more than even 7 sectors. And I think the Blue Economy Academy has done so much in promoting this idea. We must also give it to Lagos State as one of the countries, one of the subnationals in Nigeria that is joining the federal government to ensure blue economy touches ground well at the grassroots, and other states like Bayelsa that has even created a ministry for blue economy. So we need to applaud this effort, hoping that the other states that are, especially the coastal states in Nigeria, take a cue from these laudable steps and emulate them so that we can have many persons thinking alike and implementing the common dream at the fast pace that we all anticipated for the good of all. We also drew attention to the massive investment that is being made in NLNG Train 7 and how what can be made from the blue economy will go many ways more than that, including employment, creation, generation, and sustainability. Emphasis was also on parasitic or non-symbiotic relationship with the ocean, where people just want to benefit from the ocean without working towards its sustainability. If you cannot help the ocean in any other way, don't dump waste into it. At least that is respecting it enough. That is making it clean enough. That is protecting and preserving the aquatic life in the ocean. This is very germane for environment because you cannot be discussing maritime without environmental pollution, its prevention, and its management. We've also been able to look at its impact on trade, on our national trade. You cannot trade as a country like Nigeria properly with waters assessing you if you are not maximizing your opportunities as a maritime state. We identified that the opportunities on our lap as a maritime country puts us naturally ahead of landlocked countries or states like Chad, like Niger, Burkina Faso. These are landlocked states, and no matter how good their policies are, they cannot enjoy the direct maritime benefits that we enjoy. So it's not just enough to say you are naturally endowed. We need to ask ourselves, are we properly engaging or utilizing these natural endowments for our good and growth as a country? So these are the areas we been able to look at, talking about the ocean and its impact on our future as a people and as a country. In wrapping up, let's get respondents' opinions and reactions so far. If you heard me well, say hi.
Hi. Can I talk?
Okay,
I raised
good.
my hand earlier and I'm still raising my hand now.
Okay, somebody is talking, please.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, you have the floor.
I raised my hand earlier and I'm still raising my hand now.
Okay. Please.
I actually want to buttress what you said about auction waste. For me, I believe for us to enjoy the huge resources and benefits from the auctions from the sea, we also have to have a second look at our lifestyle. You are talking about ocean waste, how you watched on a video, somebody's parlor being messed with ocean waste. For me, I feel we can't talk about ocean sustainability and tapping into the benefits of the ocean without harping on our lifestyle, the way we manage our waste. We need to go back to the grassroots, to the women that are selling along the roads, to the petty traders here and there, selling food, selling all manner of things, because they don't see any other outlets for waste disposal except the gutters in front of their shops and their homes. Personally, I hate such. At times I've had to correct people, but there's a limit to what you as an individual can do. So I feel there should be should I say, a law or policy and an enforcement. In the days of Idiabo, we had a war against indiscipline. Then I was a child, I was growing up. But I knew even right in the villages, people upheld discipline. So we can still do the same today. We can't just be talking and be talking. It shouldn't just be a mere lip service. Steps should be taken, measures should be taken to ensure that people change this lifestyle. Because between me and you, we know that at the end of the day, every disposal into the gutters, on the roads, plastics, nylon, and name it, they end up in the oceans. And these are even destructive to some of the ocean resources, like fishes. Plastic, is not good for fishes consumption. And then at the end of the day, we consume these fishes and it affects our health. So I feel there should be a strong, not just campaign. There should be a way of setting a rule and looking for a way to enforce it with a kind of penalty, that if you are caught doing so and so will happen to you. That's just what the area I want to contribute. Thank you. It's been an amazing outing. Well done. Kudos to the organizers.
Yeah, thank you very much. Your contribution is noted, and it speaks to a very important aspect of our day-to-day life. The ocean is not producing the waste; we are the one producing it. So we need to reshape our thinking and right our wrongs by ensuring that we don't keep repeating the same old mistakes that is bringing us unpleasant consequences. So thank you very much for that very beautiful contribution. It's very much highly appreciated. Any other contribution, please?
Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Am I loud or am I clear?
Yes.
Okay. I thank you all for this opportunity, and my contribution or my opinion is I would like to know if there is if there is an avenue where youths from across Nigeria can have an idea of this blue economy, because I was recently introduced to it. I had no idea. I reside in the eastern part of the country, and everything I've been hearing has got to do with Lagos and some, and I think Bayelsa was just mentioned a couple minutes ago. So I'm interested in the blue economy. I'm an enthusiast. I love the marine industry, and I have dreams of being a seafarer one day. But because of my location, that dream is somewhat short. It's going to be somewhat short-lived if I don't act. I mean, being in this meeting now is me taking a step forward to achieving that. And I know that there are also other youths like me who have interest in the blue economy, in what it entails, in the policies it can create. Do you understand? There are youths who are interested, who would want to be involved in this blue economy in one way or the other, but location, because of location, they will not be able to be utilized. So my question is going to be: is there any way that someone like me can be able to be recognized, or even to come into the blue economy from my location? Thank you.
Yes. Can I answer you?
Yes, you can, please.
Okay. Yes, the answer to your question is a resounding yes. Your location does not limit you. You have access to information, and where you need, because from what I deduce, I think you need more of career guidance and counseling. The Blue Economy Academy can go a long way to guide you. Your location is not a barrier. It's not a barrier. There are institutions of learning that can help you actualize your dream to be part of the blue economy. So from wherever you are, you can begin to pursue that dream. So just keep in touch. I don't know the level at which you want it. Is it an undergraduate thing? Is it a postgraduate thing? Is it seafaring? Is it logistics, freight forwarding? Maybe we need to talk using back channels after this. You get across to the academy and you get some guidance and counseling on how best to go about it. So be assured that your location is not a barrier. It's not a barrier. All the information you need can be sent to you at the comfort of your home. It's just for you to utilize or make use of the information. So where you are does not limit your access to knowledge or opportunities.
Okay.
So, and it's a good idea to show interest in the blue economy, because the future of the economy is actually blue. The future is blue. So it's one area that has space for young, vibrant professionals to come in and contribute to its growth, and also develop themselves professionally. So it's open. And it's very wide. It's very wide. So feel free to contact the academy through any of the official contact or the admin to this Zoom meeting, and you will take it off from there.
Okay, is there going to be an email or a contact number released?
If you want contact number, we can give you that of the founder. Do a message. They will give that to you.
All right, I will send a message into the chat right now.
Yes, do a message. Do a message. I think it will be assessed. You will be reached.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Nna Emeze Ogbonna. Thank you very much. The career prospects in the blue economy environment is wide. You just have to identify where you fit into, and based on your interest, your preference, and we'll get started.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah. So, thank you. Any other contribution, please? Question, opinion? Because at the end of every Code Blue meeting, we always have a document encapsulating all that were discussed and sharing it with readers too. So I think we've had a very beautiful day. For those in Lagos who are struggling between one location to another due to flooding issues, we wish you success as you travel through the waters, and pray that the challenges recede very fast. So I want to thank everybody for their contribution, their support, their participation, and let's keep touch for next edition next month to have another edition of Code Blue. We're looking at a fresh topic that resonates with the industry.